first.
I
don't know.
Skip the minutes. We need to vote on the financial report. Oh, we don't have one, do we?
We just sent drafts, but there were a couple of issues that we had to resolve before we could do the final one, so we could push that back again.
Or if we can at least resolve them and then vote, just vote next month.
Well,
But we've got to
the other
get
question I had was, I didn't see in the report that we had any of the April or any of the May data, I should say. When is there, what's the lag normally? Is it normally that long? I don't remember.
Oh, we should have had, well,
Unless I misread it, I thought the reports Amy sent were through April.
oh, I don't know.
No, is that wrong? I know you just sent them a few minutes ago.
There are 3 attached.
One of the, I thought the income statement was through April, not May. But I could be wrong about that.
I don't know if I got anything. I haven't.
Yeah,
received
Amy sent something not too long ago.
You mean today?
Today. Oh, there is some do have the May.
There should be 3 separate reports for each.
I may have looked at a different tab that maybe wasn't up to date. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, the balance sheet is through April. Maybe that's what I was referring to.
No, I didn't get anything.
Yeah, the income statement is through May 31, but the balance sheet is through April 30. At least
Oh,
that's
it's saying the
on the
P&L.
attachment I'm looking on that Amy sent.
Oh, the phone number didn't work for Paul.
There should be 3 separate attachments, so
Yeah, there were 3, right? There were 3 reports.
so the one from 5/31 should.
Oh, maybe this was 2 months worth of reports. Okay, I see it. My fault.
Okay.
I opened the first attachment that was through April, and then I see the other ones through May.
Okay, good.
but is there a P&L for those as well? Yeah.
The income statement was through May 31, I believe.
There really shouldn't be any major changes to it. It's still draft because they have a couple of charges. They're just recategorizing, but the amounts should be the same overall.
Okay.
It's essentially final, but not 100%.
Right.
Amy, would you resend them to me? Because I'm just double checking and I haven't received them. I went back till yesterday. Yeah, no. Okay, moving right along. The yearly review, which is really impressive. Diana, you put this together, I'm assuming?
Yes, it's based on the format we've had also for previous years.
Right.
Yeah. I just love the wheel. Makes things so crystal clear.
It's easier for visually inclined people like me to understand
Yeah.
what's going on.
Graphics make it a lot simpler. I think it looks great. Really looks great.
So is that something that needs to be approved, or?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, as long as we agree with the data, you know, which basically.
Right. Yeah, that's not an action item for approval, like Lisa said, unless there was an error someone found, but I don't believe there are any. So.
Generally, it's presented to the city council, though. Is there a plan for that?
Right. Right.
I can do it, or anybody can do it. I don't care who, but we can certainly get on the agenda. I'll request us to get on the next agenda.
Yeah, I mean, that's been an annual thing, so we should be able to reference how we presented and what we presented in prior years.
Okay.
Paul's not able to get on. Okay, so I will contact, get
Kevin
on
and
the
I.
agenda for city council. All righty. Okay, let's go down to new development. House to home, the 2 on Johnson and 1 on Lander. What's going on with that?
So we presented at the ARC meeting on Tuesday last week for 27 Johnston. And it was approved, and now we are we're gonna fill out the permits now that that process is opened up again for 27 and 43 Johnston. And I think we mentioned last time that we were gonna visit 136 Lander, which we did with Jeff Wilkinson, our architect, and we also got into 150 Lander. And 136 Lander is really, needs a lot more work than the others, and so we were considering doing 150 Lander next.
Oh,
Because Jeff estimated that 136 would need about 450,000 for units. And 150.
That would, I'm sorry, Jen, that would be the land bank cost, or that would be the cost the contractor would have to spend post purchasing it?
Oh, well, that would be the full renovation cost, and we are looking at this as for the house to home where we do the renovation.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
We could do something with 136 that's partial reno and then sell to someone or something. We can look at
Right.
as an option. But we're thinking for the house to home, because grant funds are limited, maybe to do 150 Lander next.
Yep.
Which
do
seems
you have a number?
less advanced or it's a
Right.
smaller building.
Yeah, does Jeff have any numbers on that?
No, I mean, it was just, we really just did a walkthrough, but, and he was, eyeballing, those were just his guesstimate.
Sure.
150 is much more just like cosmetic, and it doesn't require, I think, as much structural work as 136 had like a lot of damage due to the back was like completely deteriorated, and there was water damage and stuff. So
If we go with 150 for the house to home, because it seems like it's more efficient with the grant money that's available, is 136 eligible for demolition? Is it that bad where we're gonna recover any money at all by putting that much into it?
no, I think it might be a better candidate for like a stabilization, but not a full reno by us. So we could
Right.
stabilize it, potentially RFA it, or just figure out something else. But
Okay.
Yep.
Got it. Thank you.
Makes sense. Okay, and does 43 Johnson have to go to the ARC,
I think it does.
or has it been?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I would assume so. Okay, so we'll look into that.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy, the Pastor Burke properties.
Yeah, so I don't know if we have any new information. Darius, were you able to get in touch with their attorney?
I did, yes. I spoke to her on Thursday. So we need to move the ball forward by doing a few things. I know Jennifer and you and I spoke about first thing to do is to have a survey done. I asked if they had a survey. They said no. So we should probably retain someone to do a survey. Should be a minimal cost to the land bank for that. Then we'll have to speak to the city about the necessity for a subdivision, of whether we need to subdivide it formally before the planning board, or whether it's some sort of simpler way for the assessor to do a lot line adjustment, so we can separate those two lots that we're going to purchase from them, and they're going to keep the one lot. We'll also, the third aspect of that is once we get that, or in the process of subdividing, we will also be submitting something to the Attorney General on behalf of the applicant, the church, to get their authority to sell those two lots to us for redevelopment. There may need to be a court proceeding submitted too. So it's a long haul, but we're starting to get the ball rolling as of Thursday, and I've done a little work today too. So
We looked at that property. It's one property right now, isn't it, Bill?
What was the address again? I'm sorry.
30, is it 37 Chambers is the?
let me
Yeah,
pull up
Pat's going to the church on Lander Street.
That's attached to, that's a long line of properties, right?
Yes.
Yes. And I think I looked it up once, and it was never subdivided. It's just, it could be 3 lots.
Yeah, it looks like it is. It is. We purchased 34 and 35, and I think they retained 37, if I recall correctly.
33 and 35.
Right, would be odd numbers, I think.
33 was demolished.
And we
35
have,
was vacant
we're
lot.
selling that to Rubco.
Let me just see here. It had 34, but it could be 33. Let me look at
It was
the
definitely 33.
We do own 34, but it's on the other side of the street.
well, so maybe it's 33. Okay.
Someone said we're selling 33 to Rubco, so we're only dealing with 35 and 37? that
Yeah,
right?
I had, I asked Rubco if they'd be willing to switch properties now that we're planning on acquiring these. But they said it would have to be something after the closing since they're already so far along with their funding process. So we might do a switch, with another property later on.
Okay.
But that's a long and short. It's going to take a little while, but we're getting the wheels moving.
And are they going to sign the contract of sale that I sent?
They did. I'll flip it to you, Jennifer, so you have the signed
Great.
contract.
Oh, good.
And
Yeah.
what was the final purchase price on that contract, Arias?
I think it was 65,000. Let me just scroll up.
And we paid the deposit.
Yep, 65. So we'll owe 58.5 at closing, and we agreed. I understand to do the cost of the subdivision and the petition for the Attorney General to approve.
Okay, great.
I'll flip it to you right now, Jennifer, for your
Okay.
files.
Great. Yeah, let's go back to the minutes.
Yeah, and I have a typo on the agenda. It's the April minutes that we
Mhm.
didn't really have minutes. I'm sorry, wait, it's the,
March.
we didn't have them April, no,
It says May, but no, it says
it says March, it's supposed to be
May.
May.
Yeah.
We didn't have April meeting.
Okay. Oh, yeah, but we don't have to vote on these minutes, do we? Because we didn't take any, okay, let's just vote on them.
I would vote on them.
That's easy enough. Yeah. Anybody notice any errors?
No? I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ally.
Sec-
All in favor? Raise
Aye.
your hand or yell aye.
Aye.
Okay, that carries. Let's see. Financial report, I think we're gonna have to wait on that because I just got mine. I haven't looked at it. I think we're gonna have to table that till the next meeting.
Yeah.
None of the new development has to have any kind of vote.
Well, the 143 Washington, I don't know if we need to vote on this, but we wanted to release an RFP.
43 Washington.
143.
143.
Oh,
So we submitted, I think I sent you the draft.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
very similar to the one we did for 104, just with the particulars about 143.
So seeing the proposals for 104, do we want to limit, so it's the same zone, so someone could potentially propose 6 stories again? Do we want to change anything to limit it to, renovation only, or?
Are you allowed?
I think giving guidance that the maximum we would consider was 4 stories or 3 stories is probably more realistic.
Well, what if we got a developer who has experience with that size building? I mean, we put it in the code for a reason.
No, understood. I think Bill's point, and I don't mean to speak for him, but if we have to look at the long history of the city and where things are today, is it realistic to build and fill? Maybe in that spot it is, I don't know, but.
And 143, because it's closer to the corner, is a little more feasible to squeeze a building in than 104 is going to be tight to get something in there.
Right.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, we could, that could certainly be added to it.
Does 143 include the land on the corner where there was that
Yeah.
garage they tore down?
Yeah, it does, right?
The garage, I believe, is still there. We tore
It's
down a little
it's a small
cottage.
piece of land though,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but it's buildable. Okay, yeah, let's look at the RFP, unless we want to just add that to the RFP and vote on it. Are you guys comfortable with that, staff?
Yeah.
It's 4 o'clock.
You could put something in there too that, unless the developer has significant experience doing greater than 4 stories, proposals should be 4 stories or less, something like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So if you have someone that's done it, you may look at something that they did and you may say, oh, we like that.
I maybe ask them to submit, if they want to build more than 4 stories, specific examples of success
Mhm.
in prior properties of that size.
Yeah, it's good addition.
Ellie, quick question. If you want to go above 4 stories, I mean, how difficult is that?
Zoning wise or?
Right, zoning wise.
So it's allowed, but you have to set back. So that's why you see on all of those designs where they go above, when they go to 6, they have the top one set back.
Right, okay.
So this zone allows them to go to 6 as long as
The last
at
two.
least the top 2 or the top 1.
Those two.
Yeah. So and that they
Yeah.
all have that. So I'm guessing that's what it is.
Okay, thank you.
So we'll have to set it back so it doesn't tower over the street, I guess. Like a
Yes,
covered
so-
roof or-
Okay.
Right. So it's kind of the idea is to continue the cornices. As you can see, one of them did that. Yeah, Gold River Capital. If you look at their rendering, they kind of continued the cornice from the building next door and then have the addition on top.
Right, okay.
Oh, yeah.
And when would the date, when would be the release and deadline dates?
Is it realistic?
What'd we do
to
for
release by the end of
104?
next month?
Yeah, I mean, because we have it.
And how much time did we give for 104? 60 days, 90 days?
I think originally it was 60 days, but then we wound up extending it because of COVID.
Right. So why don't we do that? I would be in favor if we can release it realistically by June 30th and have it be due by August 31st. We could always extend it if we need to, if other circumstances come up.
Mhm.
This is
I
a
agree.
smaller scope of a project than 104 also, so,
Yeah, smaller.
in complication and scope, so should be realistic for people to get responsible bids back to us.
Okay, and we'll go from there. If we get one bid, then we know we need to extend it. But I have a feeling people are going to be interested.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do June 30th, August 31st. Okay, somebody make a motion to release the RFP.
I'll make it.
I'll
Thank you.
second.
Thank you,
Second.
Lana. All in favor? Raise
Aye.
your little hands.
Aye.
Aye.
Paul, unmute yourself.
Aye.
Thanks, Paul.
Welcome.
Okay. That's the only, you see anything else we're going to need to vote on?
Well, 62 Campbell, we had voted on last time, and I think to release the RFA.
Okay.
Sorry, I have a, what? It's not working? Okay, they're probably just late. My daughter has her clogging class. So the RFA, I think we had said for July. Now I can't remember if it was the end of July.
July 31st.
Right, so I don't know if we didn't release it yet. So I don't know if we should,
Why don't we do the same, June and August?
okay. Both August 31st.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't have to vote on that because we always said we'd do it.
Okay.
Okay, how about,
I have a couple of resolutions.
okay,
One is for 96 Broadway, which is just the release of,
oh,
what do you call it? The,
the release of
Restricted
covenants.
covenants.
which we discussed in a prior meeting. And we just need to officially accept that, and do.
Okay, somebody make that motion.
I move to accept the release of restricted covenants for 96 Broadway.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ramona. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Jennifer,
Oh,
was
you're
that,
great.
Jennifer, was that for all the restrictive covenants or just the condition 4?
I don't know.
I know back in January, I don't know the details of this, but I know back in January, you released the 4th condition or proposed to.
I think it says condition 3.
Okay. All right. So the other conditions, maintain an affordability of 4 units will remain, and not sell during a term of reversionary interest.
No,
The same. Does that remain?
no, wait, this also, no, this says, I'm sorry. It reads, whereas, okay, NCLB pursuant to a resolution adopted on January 29, 2018, determined that the owner had submitted satisfactory evidence satisfying condition 3 would be satisfied upon submission of a fully
I
executed
I
loan.
just wanted to make sure that if certain conditions were going to remain, we want to make sure
Yeah,
that
it is, and then it says condition 4 has been satisfied. Right.
So I think we just have to make sure the motion is that we passed is specific in nature to what Darius had said.
Yeah, sorry, it's just worded.
No, that's okay.
Hard to
That's
follow.
okay. I don't want them to all of a sudden say it's not affordable and then,
Right, no.
which is a condition. Okay.
Right.
And then the other resolution was regarding Rubco. So we did, we had to extend the purchase agreement to the end of July now. We had extended it to July 3rd. They're anticipating the closing by June 30th, but they wanted to have some cushion there, just in case. And in preparing for the closing, we needed the resolution, and we didn't have the original. And then the original one that had been executed included 44 South Miller, which is now, that was later taken out of the deal.
Yep.
And so we just wanted to do a new resolution that confirms that with the purchase price.
Yeah, we'll need it. We'll need it for the closing, and apparently the original one was never or couldn't be found. There was a draft around, Jennifer, if I recall.
Right.
But with that new resolution with authorizing this transfer and also removing the one building and the purchase price confirming would be the motion, right?
Yeah, and ironically, the building that's being removed is the 44 South Miller, which we want to switch with them later on, but this is how it got set up.
So that's part of the pastor's swap, right?
That would be, yeah, swap if we can do that after the fact. And the purchase price is 189,992 for all the properties.
Okay. So we need a motion to extend the date, drop South Miller Street or 44 South Miller. Anything else?
Authorizing the transfer of the other properties.
Okay. So, what date do we want to put on it for the extension?
It was July 31st.
Okay. And removal of 44 South Miller, and then accepting all the properties. Is that got it, Darius? Is that good?
Yeah, and including the authorization of the transfers too. All four.
Okay.
Sorry, that's the they're all important, but that's the really important one.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
All
the
righty.
time won't ensure it.
Okay, does that make sense to people? Because I'm confused. Somebody else
Yeah.
has to make the motion.
I just want to look up 44th South Miller. That's not the one, that wouldn't be the one on the corner with the carriage house, would it?
No, it's well, we're proposing to demo that one. It's
Yeah,
just
we're
attached
removing
to
it from
another
this
building.
motion.
I'm just looking it up.
44 is not in the corner, it's in the middle.
It's in the middle. It's the one that doesn't have the roof, right?
Right. So
Okay,
we got
yeah.
funding in this recent round from Enterprise to demo that building. I mean,
Oh, that's, okay, so that's going to be demoed because it has to be. It's affecting the other building as well.
so that's
okay.
why they didn't, Rubco originally took that out of the deal because of, I guess, of its condition.
Right, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm fine.
All right. Anybody want to make this motion? Darius, why don't you phrase it and then we'll let somebody make the motion.
Sure. Motion to authorize the sale of all the properties listed. Removal of the one property just stated. The purchase price will be $180,000
$1,000.
and extending the date of the transfer to July 30th.
Okay, who wants to make that motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Ramona. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, David. All in favor? Aye.
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 Thank you.
All
All
right,
sorry
that-
about the confusion.
Good, that's taken care of. All righty, home to home 45 South Lander.
That closing hasn't been scheduled yet. It's in the works.
Okay. Okay, the Habitat properties.
Nothing really new to report. We're just, we'll have have to close on those property, transfer them to Habitat by the end of the year.
All righty. Down to building preservation.
Just not really a lot of updates there either. We're waiting on starting 128 Du Bois, which has been delayed with having to get certifications from the workers. And then 140 Chambers is in progress. The lead abatement is happening now.
A lot of what's been happening?
The lead abatement. So
Oh, yeah.
she started the work and we got the permit and she started working.
Okay, and now we need a motion. We have to get a permit from the city to demolish, right?
For 44 South Miller, we have to apply for that, yeah.
Yeah.
We also have to make an application to SHPO, which is usually just a couple.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we do that before going to the city?
Yeah, the city won't be that, you know, how busy are you, Bill? I think you can do both simultaneously.
I was
does
going to recommend simultaneously, yeah.
does ARC
SHPO
approve
SHPO
that
usually
one
takes.
also, or no?
I'm sorry, I lost internet for a moment. What was your question, Lisa?
Should they apply to SHPO and the city at the same time?
Yes, definitely.
And do we need to involve ARC?
SHPO will take the place of the ARC for this on the most part. I'll write a letter that says the building is a threat to public safety. SHPO will
Gotcha.
process it in 3 days or 3 or 4 days, depending on COVID. I don't know. We haven't done one since this all started, but it's a pretty simple process. And then it's a 2-story demo, I think, right? 2 stories or 3 stories, whatever it is, demo permit from the city.
All right, so I'll ask you for a letter before we submit to SHPO.
All righty. Any other business before we go into executive session? All right, do I have a motion to go into executive session?
I'll make it.
Thanks.
Second?
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye.